Hello, good evening, and welcome to Ugress livestreams episode 22. Woohoo! If you are watching this as a recording, which most of you do, please know there is links to the different songs underneath, because this is the warm-up part. There's gonna be like 30 minutes now of hanging out, warming up, checking that everything is working, and saying hello to everybody on in the comments. And then in 30 minutes the full concert starts. So you can skip ahead if you're watching this as a recording. For now, I'm gonna say hello to everybody on YouTube. Hello, Dalen, and Henning, and to Atle, and Stuart, and Bastian, and Joe, and to Rova, and Vibern, and Harald. And Harald, thank you for your donation earlier today. And Illitret also. Hi guys, it's so great to be here with you in this tropical heat. And you see, my house plants have grown to gigantic sizes with the temperatures this summer. Haha. Good joke there. So how is everybody, and how is everybody coping with the heat? I hope, gonna put that a bit smaller. I hope you all are coping. I'm okay. I struggle a bit to concentrate in this heat, but it's worth my computers. You've probably heard me complain about this before, but the summer months are a nightmare to do anything in the studio, because the apartment is so warm, the computers are throttling. So if the frame rate is dropping today, or if the audio drops out, don't worry, it's completely normal. I have changed one of the computers to a more modern computer, which hopefully is gonna be better than yesterday. We had a general rehearsal with my Patreon team. Yay, Patreon! And there was some stuttering and some dropouts of audio. It's not horrible, but if it goes very slowly, don't worry, it's gonna pick up again later. It depends on the temperature. It depends how much I'm moving, how much heat am I radiating in the studio at that moment. So quickly checking in with the comments. Illitret, the new car smells like... I love that new car smell. I don't have a new smell for new songs, but I'm always release writer on Spotify every Friday. I'm always a little bit excited, and most of the time I'm disappointed. But sometimes they're like, oh my god, this artist has a new song, and sometimes it's like, oh wow, that is so great. And I think the dopamine rush of that single moment when you're engaged with an artist you like and they release something you also like the track, it's fantastic. But most Fridays are like, yeah, okay. But I'm holding out for that one track. So curious to hear if everybody has that moment with this track today. I'm aware it's a little bit off the typical Ugress. Wow, my fans are blowing so hard. You can see my notes are... that's how hard my fans are blowing at me. You can see the plants are kind of like, ooh, there's a storm in here. Stuart, hello Wales. Oh god, please send some rain over to Germany. Taff, hello, nice to have you here. Rat Bad Bastard. Oh my god, I haven't played that track in ages. I'm noting that for I was gonna say tomorrow, but for next live stream, which I don't have a date for it right now, but Rat Bad Spider would be really cool to play. Oh god. Richard, hello. Michael also. Hello Joe. Are you wearing a mask in your emoji? That's very polite of you. Thank you very much. So I was having... Oh, look, there's Mark and Milena also. Hey, guys, it's so great to see you hiding behind a plant. You can see their plant is... there. And there's two also. Hello. So awesome. Ah, the house plant. Yes. Mark looks like he's in the desert. And there's Tuva also, my zombie wearing a Ugress t-shirt. So we had a general rehearsal for this live stream last night, and one of the things we discussed, I'm telling them things and they're like, that sounds like a good idea. I'm wondering about these warm-ups before the live stream starts. As you know, most people are watching this as a recording later. I still, for me the value is to doing it live in front of you guys to test out new songs, and kind of it's some... I like this live stream method or process or space. It's somewhere. It's between the studio and stage and online on the internet. It's a great place to kind of test out new things. Also do completely fully finished productions, and to test unfinished stuff. And for that, I have been thinking to maybe skip the warm-up and go straight to the 45 minutes of concert to make it more like a concert. And I think that technically and maybe practically would work. But yesterday when I tested that with Patreon, it felt like I am missing an important part for me, which has been this warm-up is kind of like getting connection to the community around the music, and to get warm myself, because it's the same with real concert on a physical stage also. Me and when I'm playing with musicians, the first 15-20 minutes we're kind of like getting warm. Even if you warm up backstage or you have a good sound check, you still need those first 10 to 15 minutes. So I think maybe these hangouts before the show is a good way to kind of get warm everybody. And you know, if you find them boring, you can show up at 8 o'clock, or you can skip ahead when you're watching this as a recording. So I'm gonna try it for this autumn and see how it goes. Alright, check in with the comments. Mikkel, enjoy the Resistance. And I will see you at 8 o'clock for the main show. Thanks, Bastian. I also like it, but you know, like my label head, when I'm not trying to be strategic, I don't know. Thanks, Mikkel. Jody, hey, there you are. The trees are amazing. Check this out. I can also change them. What about these? Do you like this one or that? That's a bit more. I'm also gonna change the trees in the back. There you go. So now I changed my house plants. So I'm gonna quickly tell you guys I have changed my setup. Before, I used to do everything in a green screen setup. Like the screen behind me was green and I was keying out everything and inserting me into virtual realities. I have stopped doing that, or I'm testing a new setup now. What you see right now is real. It's there's no stuff. The plants in front of me are an overlay in front of me, but the rest of the room is real. That means that we can change cameras like this. Here's my keyboard. And now there's no trickery in the background or stuff like that. Like there's another angle there. You can see my Weißwein shoulder. And the reason for doing this is because before I was developing for two platforms, a real physical stage where I didn't use the green screen, and then the studio where I was using a green screen, which often led me to having to do work twice to create the visuals for a song to work on both stages. So now I have changed that, and the idea behind that is to actually be more efficient in my development, so I can spend more time creating art and less time making sure it fits different platforms. So I'm gonna talk a bit more about this throughout the streams tonight, because that also means some changes to how I appear in the visuals and how I'm representing the visions in the visuals, because I am thinking about this should ultimately go on a big stage, on a big screen, which means I sometimes now, if you're watching this on a mobile, I will be very tiny sometimes. That is by design. I'm conscious of this problem. The only solution is get a bigger phone. And come and see us playing live at concerts, where then the visuals are huge on the wall, and then it makes sense that I'm tiny in the visuals, because at that point I will then be as big as the real me on stage. So for this warm-up, I'm gonna tell you a bit what I've been doing since the previous stream. Yes, Stuart, the wine is in a measuring flask. Let me put the camera there. Check this out. I am drinking my Weißweinschorle from a beaker, a lab beaker. It's because the only glass I have that is 500 milliliters. And for these 75 minutes of live stream and this 65 Celsius heat grades in my studio. I need a lot of liquid. So a beaker it is. Yes, science for the people, or science for me. So I completely forgot. If you wanna join everybody on Zoom up here, I just posted a link right now to a webpage that explains you how it works in case you haven't done this before. And here's a direct link to Zoom, so you can connect with your webcam and you will appear like everybody else on the cameras up here, and you will appear in the videos. Look at that, Michael just did it. Hello, Michael! Wow, he's in a new space, he has a new shelf. Haha, cool. So, I'm gonna shift over to another computer. Like there. Now I'm very small, and I'm gonna turn down the warm-up music. And for now, I'm going to talk about one of the things I did before this summer. I was busy in April and May with a commission for Sonotopia, presenting a memory of shadows at Metamorph in Trondheim. And I'm going to show you what that looked like. So that was just a few cuts from the performance. It was 45 minutes concert work. And here's the setup I was developing. This was based on the sounds of extinction. So I was triggering various sounds. And processing them real. This is metal, like metal is dead. Get it? And then whenever I was triggering something, a video clip of the same thing would appear on the screens. And I was using things like glaciers, metal music, different kinds of work. I can't remember, bumblebees. And then the different computers are triggering different visuals. You will understand this as I show you. And these are projected on giant black screens surrounding me on stage. Again, you will see this later. Here you see the backdrop projection, and you see the mobile screen projection. So on that static field, the various elements of extinction threatened elements are appearing. I'm also having then 5 surveillance cameras that are monitoring me on stage, because I find these sounds of extinction. Here you see the surveillance cameras. I go around on this dystopian stage and I collect Amiga diskettes. Here you see them. They are scattered around on stage. I find one, I go back to this station, I insert a drive, and I load the extinction sound with this computer, which is turned toward the audience, so they see this kind of hacker processing the Amiga diskettes. And that appears then, you see here when I'm hitting the screen, starts loading the different sounds. Yeah, that's the setup. These are the graphic computers to the right, and here's everything packed down before traveling to Trondheim, where this was performed at the Metamorph. It's a Biennale for Art and Technology in May. That's all my fake houseplants. And here I am traveling with KLM to the ultimate north. Here's the venue, Dokkhuset in Trondheim, where we did one show. And actually, here's a bit of trivia. The first concert Ugress did outside of the hometown was here at Blast on the other side of the quay harbor. This is inside of the venue. That's what it looks like. The 2 mobile phones on the sides and the backdrop projection. And here we are finished dressing the stage. This is during daytime, so you have the house lights on. It doesn't look very cool. This is Alfin, and we needed one broken device on stage, and we told him, could you crack the screen, please? And everybody expected him to hit it once, but he just kept going. Hello.
Hello.
It's 15 minutes until the door opens. I'm here at Dokusa. I'm just going to super quickly take you through the stage before they open the doors. So this is the venue. Yes, that's the venue. And I'm now going to show you what the stage looks like. Yeah, cool. That's a guy with coffee. Before starting. So there's lots of dead screens and fake house plants. And all of these screens are showing static until I trigger extinction sound. And then the extinction phenomena are kind of glitching and scattering, appearing on all of the different screens, synchronized to me performing them. You will see this in a moment while I've shown you some cuts from the performance itself. This is the setup on my side. Here's the Amiga computer. You see it's turned toward the audience, and I can see these coding GIFs appearing whenever I trigger it. I'm making everybody dizzy now with running around and just documenting everything. My shopping wagon. And I was most proud of this. I got a... What's it called in English? Tunna? My English is gone. Oil drum. I got an oil drum. So this is what the stage looks like. And here it's what it looks like when I'm performing. Hello, voiceover.
Hello. Hello.
I'm now backstage. Oh. Okay. So, and that was that. That was just a few glimpses of the concert, and we end here backstage, where, like, as most of the pandemic, I'm alone backstage. There's no partying. It's just me and my stuff. And here I'm going down to the stage to show you what backstage looks like. Down the stairs, you can hear the pulse of the clubbing going. Woohoo! After my performance, the venue turned into a nightclub. So that's it. That was an introduction. This is what I did in April and May. And then for June, July, and up until now in August, I have been focusing on creating songs for the new album, which comes, if everything goes to plan, in November. And the first single dropped today, and that's probably why you are here, because I sent you an email or you were paying attention on social media. It's really great to be back in the release frequency cycle after a break of a few months. Now I have been talking for a very long while. I'm going to shut up for a minute and read your comments and answer those. I see your Hulk smash comments. Oil drum. Barrel. Barrel was the word I was looking for. Thank you, Jody. What Joey said, yes. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching that and for your funny comments. As usual, I will let you know that I do not The concert starts in 10 minutes now. Once it starts, I will check in with the comments every now and then, but I do not have the capacity to read all of them in real time. I do appreciate them so much though. I read all of them the next day. I review my own performance and take notes of myself, and I laugh so much at your comments. So have fun, and please know that I will see everything later. And as before, if there's questions or topics or stuff that people ask that I'm not able to see right now, I will answer that in the next live stream, which I completely forgot about for today because I'm a bit out of practice. So I actually forgot to see through the comments of the last live stream back in March. Wow, there's Lars and Akane and Gia also. Hey Lars, konbanwa, Akane, Gia, and Mikkel is also there. Wow, that's a great crowd up on Zoom. Wyvern, thank you. I also really enjoy these live streams. So is everybody off holidays, or are people still on holiday? My feeling from like how the city is alive outside here, it's the summer is over and people are back to work. But weather did not get the notice that summer is over. The weather is still pretending it's high summer and insisting on pretending we are at tropical latitudes or longitudes. I don't know. Heights. Yeah, thank you. Bonsoir. That's a good observation. I only have a purple one because I ordered my own merchandise and I ordered all of it black except for one purple because I wanted to see how the purple checked out. The reason I'm wearing purple you will understand later, because I'm keying myself out, and when I'm wearing black I disappear into the background, but when I'm wearing purple I will actually appear. Orange could be doable, it's just that I don't like orange so well. Oh wow, Jim Cherry, holiday in 2 weeks. Jody was at the beach. Oh god, I want to go to a beach. Stuart is still on holiday. Katjasa. Oh, you were in Berlin, cool. Oh no. Permelin, good evening. Tjena. Yeah, Bastian, I saw that all of the rivers in Europe is out of water. I feel like we have been doing this this is the third summer, right? And every summer it gets warmer, or maybe it's just my observation, and it's like everything gets worse every summer. I'm not gonna focus on that, just I'm observing it, and I'm doing things in my life to to help with this, but I don't know how much it helps. I thought about it before the live stream. Should I talk about it or raise it? I mean, I just did a big performance in May on Extinction, so I feel like artistically I have spoken. I'm not gonna say anything more. And also, I don't know what is the right thing to do or not, especially as an artist. Sometimes fly a lot. I compensate by not having a car and living in a small apartment in a big city, but it's very difficult to personally engage with, you feel the world is burning up around you, and how can I do anything with that personally? It's not a topic for tonight. We're gonna have fun, but I just wanted you to know it's in my head, probably in your head also. Oh wow, there's a Ugress t-shirt with a lamp, alone watching. Can I put it full screen? You can't see it because it's behind the plants. There you see it. That's a house plant. No, it's a house light with a t-shirt and a house plant at the back. I'm very happy to have this. The T-shirt is watching on Zoom. There you go. Okay, it's 4 minutes until starting. I'm gonna check in with your beautiful comments before get going. Oh, Lars, that's a brilliant observation. All of my houseplants is helping the environment, except they are virtual, you know? They're actually using electric power at this moment to exist. I'm looking for some tape here because this is gonna bother me with the paper blowing up all the time. Alright, 2 minutes until starting. Let's check that, or 3 minutes. Wow, it sounds like some of my 80s tools are operational. Lars, that's a good observation. Lars Ivan, hello, good evening. I know, Stuart, right? It feels like, I don't know, like we're 3 months into the pandemic in some ways. I'm still doing the same thing I did 2 years ago. Electric plants. Alright. Norbert and Elijah, thanks for coming in. We're starting in a few minutes. I'm gonna be prescient for once and load the first visuals. Okay, looks like everything is ready and set to go. I'm gonna put on the logo, make it a little bit bigger. Turbo tape to load. Yes, I'm loading. Sigrid, hello, good evening, and thank you for your compliment. Michael P, good afternoon to you also, and good evening everybody who's watching and not commenting. It's great to have you here, even if you're just watching, or if you're watching this as a recording. I appreciate all of it. I just again posted a link to Zoom. If you want to participate and appear up here and in the live music videos that are starting in a few moments, you can click that link and open Zoom and you will appear on the screen up here to join us live. The audio is of course coming from YouTube, so everything is muted on Zoom. You will get all of the music through here. Oh, Illiterate, that sounds like a perfect evening. She-Hook is awesome. Everything operational as planned. Perfect quote, Tova. Thank you so much. Alright, it's almost 8 o'clock. And check it out, somebody is prepared. Science is happening at this very moment. I am refilling the liquids to operate zombie number 1. Cheers everybody, have a great evening. I'm starting in 10 seconds. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Ugress Livestreams episode 22. My god, it's a very special episode, only because it has the number 22 in it. I was at the beginning of the pandemic aiming for this to happen like at maybe 22, 11, 22 in 2 months, 3 months, but it's actually happening right now because that's where we are. If you want to participate on Zoom, there's a link in the comments. I'm going to post it again. You can appear up here together with everybody. So for tonight, it's a release party. Where the Streets Once Had the Moves was released today, and I'm very happy to back in the release cycle with new music. There is a new live stream setup that I spoke about during the warm-up, so if you're interested in that and the technicality of everything, you can check that out after the performance. I'm gonna test out some new instruments and new performance techniques. That is gonna be very interesting for tonight. I'm gonna show you a bit of how I'm doing with the album, because I will be presenting more new music than old music for tonight. But I'm gonna start a bit chilly with Atlantis Coastguard Corruption, an old classic from 2002. For this one, I'm only going to be using the cameras of the studio to show you the new live stream setup and just get warm and test some new instruments.
Madness is always sad. That was such a brilliant man. To drive himself mad.
thank you so much for your wonderful virtual applause. And I was just warm up and introducing for you one of the new instruments and performance techniques. I'm starting to use our breath controller. Well, I can't use it together with the microphone at the same time because you hear my breath going through the controller. But I'm going to be experimenting with this for tonight and like trying to build that into my set for the touring in November. So there's going to be a bit extra much of it tonight, just kind of me figuring out how it works in front of an audience. The next track is Kraken, Bossa Nova, and there's one missing right here. Where did I put it? It's actually not. Just gonna check and see where it ended up. Ah, it's gone. So, it's actually, the track I'm gonna play now is Kerosene Veins. Thank you. That was Kerosene Veins. It's the title of the song. I forgot to put it in the box over here, but that's the title of the track, and it's possibly one of the new songs for the album. So I'm moving on to an old classic, which is Kraken Bossa Nova. Thank you so much. That was Kraken Bossa Nova from the Planet U period 10 years ago, actually. So I played one song 20 years old and one song 0 years old and one song 10 years old. And for the next one, I'm going to try a completely new one. It's called, have I done this correctly? Theory Multiverse. And it's a work in progress. So I'm just going to zoom through it and see how it goes. And then I'm going to tell you afterwards what my ideas are. Thank you. That was String Theory Multiverse. It's a work in progress. That title is also a work in progress. What I'm doing here is taking a lot of famous guitar songs from all over history, and I'm playing them all at the same time. And then the solos and everything is kind of built from like the whole history of crazy jazz players. It's a work in progress, and that's where the String Theory Multiverse title comes from. So I was just happy to try it out right here. And what I find interesting is to kind of like, I'm using artificial intelligence to kind of like decode the songs and also to build them back together. And also I feed it into like artificial intelligence systems to give me out the MIDI. And then when I perform the violin, I just play one string. So the MIDI here, that is controlling, like, so it's the pitch of the violin is controlled by computers, which again is controlled by artificial intelligence, which again is informed by the guitar players 50 or 100 years ago. It's super interesting. So, but for today, it's a release party. Woohoo! That's why we are here, and that's where we're going to focus on. And here is where the streets once had the moves. Oh, thank you so much. That's a good workout there. I do find when performing this track live now, just a second, it probably moves okay for where the street moves. It moves okay for radio version, but for a live track, I think it could be a bit longer. I feel a bit rushed through the track. But there you go. That's the where the streets once had the moves, and we're at the middle of the concert. I'm gonna quickly check in with your comments, which is a lot of applause. Thank you so much. Right back at you. I'm clapping back for all of your applause in the comments here. So, you know, that's the normal thing I have to do. It's the middle of the set, and I'm gonna tell you quickly about how to support artists these days, because it's something we need, particularly with the prices going up, and nobody's paying anymore for Spotify. So my income is kind of like the same, but everything else is very expensive. So you have the traditional ways of supporting artists, which is in Norway you can directly support me on Lips with this number here that is also posted in the YouTube description. You can directly support me on PayPal with a donation there on paypal.me/Ugress, or on Patreon. Actually, I'm going to talk a few minutes about that. Here is a screenshot of a Patreon website, so you know when you go there it's legit. And what this is, it's a platform for artists to earn monthly income from providing content directly to supporters. So what I do every month is 1 or 2 music posts and 1 or 2 video posts and 1 live event. All of this happens on Patreon. Stuff like this, like yesterday we had a general rehearsal of this, and back in July we had an early prototype of the new visuals and the new songs. There's also every month a long-form status report on what I'm doing and how it's going for me both as an artist as a person. And there's regularly behind the scenes and reports, DJ sessions and parties. So what I did, I know that this can be very difficult to put your head into. If you go to ugress.com/Patreon, there are open posts. You can go there and you can see what I'm doing, so you can assess the content of Patreon before you actually subscribe to anything. And also I took more time there to describe how it's working for me, and if you go there, if you're interested in this or curious about it, you can go there and learn more about it. I'm moving on. Thanks for your for the ad break patience. You know, we have to do that. I'm moving on to these city lights. And this is a prototype where stuff is not finished. I'm just testing out some stuff. Let's go through it first and then talk about what it's supposed to be afterwards. Thank you. That was a early prototype or medium prototype of these city lights. It's a horrible title. I haven't found a better title. I also am experimenting a bit with like. I really love these old 80s VHS cover artworks. So I'm trying to make like a homage collage of all of those together at the same time and have them react and float around. And it should be a bit more lively than what it is at the moment. But that is the experiment, and that's where I am. I don't have like a clear idea of what I'm gonna do live in that song. So I'm like just playing some violin wah wah at the moment. I am actually being super efficient and moving through my set tonight with like industrial precision. I think it's some of the new computers are very fast, so when loading new graphics they are super efficient and they're not crashing, which makes me kind of faster than usual. So I have a moment to check in with the comments and see if there's any questions. I am glad the cat is okay. Laughs. Yeah, sometimes things should be moving in sync with the beat. There are still some issues with that. Great VHS, or yes. And you guys were actually appearing. I saw that on the screen. You all on Zoom were appearing in a horror movie. I can't remember the title of the movie, but you were in it. How did I do that? I found the covers online and I cut them up with Photoshop and I put them on layers and I animate the layers. That's it. So the next song is one of my favorite projects at the moment. Tap Like To Sharpen Edge. It's also a work in progress. Thank you so much. And wow, that was. I thought this song was too long, but I felt like I was just getting started here. It stopped before I could actually go where I wanted to go. So another great observation and why I enjoy these live streams so much, because I learn so much when when I do this in the studio. I'm like, that's enough. I can stop there. But now when I'm doing it in the flow of kind of like a concert, I'm like, oh, this could actually continue and it needs another layer or whatever. So that was an interesting experiment. Quickly, before I move on to the last song of tonight, is we're gonna play live in November. Just so you know, at Paktata in Oslo, it's about we have sold half of the tickets so far. There's still a lot of tickets left, but I'm just letting you know we are gonna be playing live in Oslo. We have some other shows coming up, but I can't announce the dates yet. So, oh, there it is, Kerosene Veins. That was the song I played as number 2 today. Clearly, I made a technical error. What I'm gonna wrap up with here tonight is Nevrotic Umbrella Approaches the Fold. thank you so much for watching. This is it. Thank you so much, Patreon supporters. ありがとうございます。Thank you so much, direct donation supporters A to K and L to Z. ありがとうございます。And thank you everybody on YouTube for being here tonight. It's been super awesome. See you next time, and thanks for staying here tonight.